former casino floor manager just broke their silence after watching players waste millions chasing myths. For 12 years, they watched people use strategies that had zero chance of working. They watched players throw away fortunes believing in hot machines, cold streaks, and secret signals. And today, they're exposing every single myth that casinos love, because these lies keep you playing longer and losing more. What you're about to hear will either save you thousands or make you realize you've been played this whole time. Former employees, technicians, and programmers are finally revealing the truth about spotting machines about to pay out. And spoiler alert, almost everything you've been told is a lie designed to keep you feeding money into machines that are laughing at you. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what's real, what's fake, and why casinos never correct these myths. Myth number 1. Hot and cold machines. Let's start with the biggest myth in casino history. The idea that slot machines run hot or cold. You've heard it 1,000 times. That machine just paid out big, it's cold now, move to another one. Or that machine hasn't hit in hours, it's due, it's about to go hot. Former slot technician Marcus worked on casino floors in Las Vegas for 14 years. He's heard every version of this myth, and he's watched it destroy people financially. I had a regular named Steven, Marcus recalls. Every single weekend for 2 years, Steven would walk the casino floor with a notebook. He'd track which machines paid out, when they paid, how much. He had this whole theory that he could predict hot and cold cycles. He'd spend an hour just watching, taking notes, analyzing patterns. Steven believed he'd cracked the code. He'd find a machine that hadn't paid in hours, convinced it was about to go hot, and he'd camp out there for the rest of the night. Sometimes he'd win. Most times he'd lose everything. After 2 years of this system, Steven had lost over $48,000. Here's what Steven didn't know, what the casinos never tell you, and what former programmer Rachel is finally revealing. Modern slot machines don't run hot or cold. They can't. It's literally impossible based on how they're programmed. Every single slot machine operates on something called a random number generator, or RNG. Former IGT programmer David explains it like this. The RNG is constantly generating thousands of numbers every single second. When you hit that spin button, the RNG stops on whatever number it was on at that exact microsecond. That number corresponds to a specific symbol combination. It's completely random, totally unpredictable. The machine has no memory. It doesn't know if it just paid out a jackpot 5 minutes ago or hasn't paid anything in 3 days. Every spin is completely independent. The odds are exactly the same on your first spin as your 10,000th spin. Former casino manager Patricia watched this myth destroy a woman's retirement. She'd follow other players around, watching for big wins. The second someone hit a jackpot and walked away, she'd jump on that machine thinking it was hot. She genuinely believed machines went on winning streaks. Over 18 months, she lost $92,000 chasing hot machines that didn't exist. The idea that machines run hot and cold comes from something called the clustering illusion. It's a psychological bias where our brains see patterns in random events even when no patterns exist. You see 3 wins in a row, and your brain tells you the machine is hot. But it's just random chance. Former technician Carlos put it bluntly, "When players ask me which machines are hot, I want to tell them the truth. There's no such thing, but casino policy forbids us from giving gambling advice, so I just smile and shrug." Meanwhile, they're about to waste hundreds of dollars chasing a myth. The casinos love this myth because it keeps you moving around the floor, trying different machines, feeding more money. If you knew every machine had identical random odds, you might just pick one you like and stick with it. But the hot and cold myth makes you a hunter, constantly chasing the next hot machine, and casinos profit from that hunt. Myth number 2. Machines are due to hit. Myth number 2 is a cousin of the hot and cold myth, but somehow even worse. This is the idea that if a machine hasn't paid out in a long time, it's due to hit. It has to pay eventually, right? Wrong. Completely mathematically, provably wrong. Former mathematician James worked for Aristocrat designing slot algorithms for 6 years. He's heard this myth repeated so many times he's lost count. The gambler's fallacy, he calls it. The belief that past results influence future outcomes. But in slots, they don't. Every spin is independent. There's a documented case from a casino in Atlantic City that haunts former employees. A man sat at the same Buffalo Gold machine for 11 straight hours because he was convinced it was due to hit. He'd watched other players lose on it all day. No bonuses, no big wins. In his mind, the machine owed somebody a payout. He sat there from 2 p.m. until 1 a.m., feeding bill after bill into that machine. By the time he finally gave up, he'd lost $7,000. The machine never hit the big bonus he was waiting for, and even if it had, it wouldn't have covered his losses. Former slot technician Angela explains why this myth is so dangerous. Players develop this mentality where they can't walk away because they've already invested too much. They think, I've put in $500, it has to pay out sooner, I'm just giving up all that money. But the machine doesn't care about your $500. It doesn't owe you anything. The RNG ensures that every spin is random and independent. A machine that hasn't paid out in hours has exactly the same odds of hitting as one that just paid out a jackpot minutes ago. The machine doesn't have a memory, it doesn't track how much money you've put in. It doesn't know it's been 3 hours since the last big win. Here's an even more brutal truth former programmer David revealed. I've seen players hit a jackpot, then hit another jackpot on the same machine minutes later. The probability doesn't care that you just won. And I've seen machines go days without hitting anything significant. There's no pattern, no cycle. No machine owing anyone anything. A woman named Christine believed so strongly in the due-to-hit myth that she borrowed money from her retirement account to keep playing a machine she was convinced owed her. She'd already lost $4,000 on it over 3 hours. She borrowed another $2,000, certain the machine would pay out, and she'd win everything back. It didn't. She lost all $6,000. Former casino manager Derek was working that night. I wanted to tell her to stop, that the machine wasn't due for anything, but we're not allowed. So I just watched her drain her retirement money into a machine that was never going to pay her what she thought it owed her. Myth number 3. Time of day affects payouts. Myth number 3 is one of the strangest, but you'll hear it constantly if you spend time in casinos. The idea that slot machines pay out more or less depending on the time of day? Play early morning when the machines are loose. Avoid Friday nights. They tighten the machines when it's busy. Former casino operations manager Linda heard this myth for 15 years, and she's here to destroy it. This myth assumes casinos can just flip a switch and change machine settings based on how busy we are. Linda explains, that's not how any of this works. Slot machine payout rates are determined by a computer chip installed during manufacturing. Changing payout settings requires opening the machine, replacing hardware, and mountains of regulatory paperwork. We can't do it on a whim. Every regulated slot machine must be certified by gaming boards. In Nevada, it's the Nevada Gaming Control Board. In other states and countries, similar regulatory agencies oversee every machine. These chips are sealed. Changing them requires documentation, approval, and in many cases, the presence of a gaming board representative. The idea that casinos change settings for busy Friday nights versus slow Tuesday mornings? Logistically impossible and completely unnecessary. Former technician Mark explains why. The machines are already programmed to make the casino money over the long run. The RTP is locked in. Whether 5 people play that machine today or 500, the math works out the same. The casino doesn't need to adjust anything. But here's why this myth persists. Human perception and confirmation bias. If you play at 3 a.m. on a Tuesday and happen to hit a nice win, your brain remembers it. Late night is the best time to play, you tell yourself. But you forget about the 5 other times you played late night and lost everything. A guy named Robert swore by this myth. He'd only play between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m., convinced that's when machines were loosest. He had a whole theory about casino traffic patterns and payout cycles. Over 14 months of late-night gambling, he lost $28,000. His late-night advantage cost him his savings. Former programmer Sarah revealed something interesting. We actually tested time-based programming in early designs. Could we make machines pay more during slow periods to attract players? Every iteration failed regulatory approval. Gaming boards require consistent RTP. You can't manipulate payout rates based on external factors like time of day or crowd size. Your chances of winning are exactly the same, whether you're the only person on the gaming floor or one of hundreds. The time of day does not affect slot outcomes. A machine at 10 a.m. has identical odds to that same machine at 10 p.m. The RNG doesn't have a clock. It doesn't care if it's morning or midnight. Myth number 4, Players Club, cards make you lose. Myth number 4 is particularly damaging because it costs players free money and perks. This is the belief that using a Players Club card makes machines pay out less. The casino tracks you with that card and makes you lose. Former player development manager Michelle heard this conspiracy theory constantly, and it made her job harder because she was literally trying to give players free stuff. We'd offer free hotel rooms, free meals, cash back on losses, but players would refuse to use their cards, Michelle explains. They'd read online that players' club cards made machines tighter. It's complete nonsense, and they were throwing away hundreds of dollars in comps. Here's the truth. Players' club cards track your play for marketing purposes and to reward you with comps and perks. They do not and cannot influence the RNG or machine payouts. The card reader is completely separate from the game's computer system. Former technician David opened up a slot machine to show how this works. The player tracking system runs on a different computer that has zero connection to the RNG chip. The card reader sends data about your play to the casino's player database. Bet amounts, time played, wins and losses. But it can't communicate with the game logic. It's physically impossible for your card to make you lose. This myth likely started because players who use cards are tracked. They know exactly how much they've lost. Meanwhile, players paying cash have no accurate record, so they underestimate their losses and believe they're doing better. A woman named Sandra refused to use her player's card for 3 years based on this myth. She'd play 3 or 4 times a month, always losing between $300 and $600 per visit. That's over $13,000 per year minimum. If she'd used her card, she would have gotten back roughly 10 to 15% in comps, free rooms, free meals, and cash back. She threw away over $4,000 in free perks because of a myth. Former casino operations manager explained the conspiracy theory version. Some players genuinely believe we sit in a control room watching their cards, and when we see them winning, we flip a switch to make them lose. That's not real. Even if we wanted to do that, which would be massively illegal, the technology doesn't exist. The machines don't work that way. Slot Club membership provides extra benefits but doesn't influence the outcome of your spins. The randomness of the RNG means no one can predict or control outcomes. Your card gets you rewards for playing. It doesn't change your odds. If you're gambling anyway, use the card, get something back. Don't throw away free money because of a myth that has no basis in reality. Myth number 5. Casino employees know which machines will hit. Myth number 5 is one that former employees specifically want to destroy. The idea that casino workers have inside knowledge about which machines are about to pay out and can give you tips. Former pit boss Rachel worked casino floors for 11 years. She was asked this question at least 5 times every shift. Which machine is hot? Which one should I play? When do these machines pay out? I had no idea, Rachel admits. None of us did. We don't have secret information about machine programming. We can't predict when a machine will hit. Anyone who says otherwise is either lying or doesn't understand how slots work. Casino employees do not have any inside information about when a machine will hit. The randomness of slots means no one, including casino staff, can predict the outcomes. Former technician Mark explains what employees actually know. We know which machines are popular because they get more play. We know which games have higher odds because we can look that up. We know which machines are newer because we installed them. But we have zero information about when any specific machine will pay out. That's determined by the RNG, which is completely random and unpredictable. There's a dangerous variation of this myth where players tip employees heavily, believing they'll share inside information. A former cocktail waitress named Jennifer saw this constantly. Players would tip me $50 or $100 and ask which machines were about to hit. I felt terrible because I didn't know. I'd just suggest machines I'd seen other people win on recently, but that was meaningless. It didn't increase their odds at all. Some players developed relationships with employees, believing they were getting insider tips. A regular named Thomas would tip the floor manager $100 every visit, asking for advice on which machines to play. The manager would recommend machines, but it was random guesses. Thomas lost over $37,000 over 2 years, convinced he had inside information. He didn't. Former casino manager Derek revealed something that shocked players when he explained it. Even the technicians who service the machines can't predict payouts. Yes, they know the RTP and volatility settings, but they have no way to know when a specific machine will hit a bonus or jackpot. The RNG is truly random. No amount of inside knowledge changes that. If casino employees actually knew which machines were about to pay out, they'd all be rich. They're not, because that information doesn't exist. Myth number 6. Pulling the handle versus pressing the button. Myth number 6 is oddly specific and completely false. Some players believe that pulling the physical handle on a slot machine gives you better odds than pressing the spin button. Former technician Carlos heard this constantly, and it always confused him. The handle and the button do the exact same thing. They both send a signal to the computer to start the spin. That's it. There's no difference in odds, outcomes, or anything else. The outcome of any spin is determined by the RNG, and RNGs are not affected by how the reels were spun. Pulling a handle versus pressing a button makes zero difference. Here's how it actually works, according to the former programmer Sarah. When you pull the handle or press the button, you're just activating the RNG. The split second you do that, the outcome is already determined. Whether you pulled, pressed, slammed, or gently tapped doesn't matter. The RNG picked your result in a microsecond, and the spinning reels are just animation showing you what was already decided. But this myth persists because of nostalgia. Older mechanical slots from decades ago actually had mechanical randomization. Modern digital slots? Nope. Everything is predetermined by the RNG instantly. A player named Gregory would only play machines with handles because he believed pressing buttons was bad luck. He'd walk past dozens of machines to find one with a handle. Over 3 years, he lost $41,000. His handle-pulling superstition didn't help his odds one bit. The truth is, casinos added buttons to make play faster. The faster you play, the more money you lose over time. Handles are slower, which is actually better for your bankroll, but not because of odds. Simply because you're making fewer bets per hour. Myth number 7. Max bet increases your chances. Myth number 7 causes players to lose money faster than almost any other. The belief that betting maximum coins increases your chances of winning or triggers better payouts. Former slot host Patricia watched players max bet themselves into bankruptcy based on this myth. They'd come in with $500, max betting at $3 or $4 per spin, and they'd be broke in an hour. When I'd ask why they max bet, they'd say, "That's how you win the big prizes." Here's the truth from former programmer David. Max betting doesn't change your odds of winning. The RNG doesn't care how much you bet. It generates the same random results whether you bet minimum or maximum. Max bets don't grant you an automatic win, just bigger payouts if you happen to win. Now, there's a small exception. Some older progressive jackpot machines only allow you to qualify for the top jackpot if you bet max. But this is clearly stated on the machine. For most modern slots, especially video slots, your odds are the same regardless of bet size. The problem is that max betting makes you lose money faster. If a machine has a 90% RTP, you're losing 10% of every bet. Bet $1, lose 10 cents per spin on average. Bet $5, lose 50 cents per spin on average. Your money disappears faster, but your odds don't improve. A guy named Marcus believed max betting was the secret to winning at slots. He'd seen YouTube videos and blog posts claiming you had to max bet to trigger big bonuses. He max bet on every machine he played. Over 18 months, he lost $64,000. If he'd bet minimum and played the same amount of time, he'd have lost a fraction of that. Former casino manager Rachel explained the casino's perspective. "We love when players max bet because it increases our win rate per hour. The odds are the same for them, but they're cycling more money through the machine in less time. From our perspective, max bettors are our best customers. Unless a machine specifically requires max bet for a jackpot, and most don't, you're just burning through your bankroll faster with zero improvement to your actual odds." Myth number 8. Certain locations on the floor pay better. Myth number 8 is about machine placement. Players believe machines in certain locations pay better. Machines by the entrance pay more to attract customers. Machines in corners are tighter. End-of-row machines are looser. Former casino floor operations manager Linda has heard every version of this myth, and she's here to explain why it's wrong. Casinos do carefully plan the placement of slot machines based on profitability metrics and player traffic patterns, but not in the way players think. We don't set machines by the door to higher RTP. We put our most popular, most exciting games there because they attract attention. But the RTP is the same whether a machine is by the front door or in the back corner. Casinos do not deliberately hide their highest-paying machines away. If they offer games with high payout rates, they want people to play them and would put them in busy areas where players can see wins happening. The myth likely comes from observation bias. If you happen to see someone win big on a machine near the entrance, you remember it. The machines by the door are hot, but you don't remember the hundreds of times you walked past that same machine, and nobody was winning anything. Former technician Mark explained machine placement reality. "We place machines based on popularity and visibility. The newest games go in high-traffic areas. The most popular games get premium locations. But the RTP is set by the manufacturer and approved by gaming boards before we ever install it. Location has nothing to do with payout rate." A player named Deborah had a whole theory about lucky locations. She'd only play machines on the ends of rows, convinced they were programmed to pay more. She'd sometimes wait 20 minutes for an end machine to open up rather than play one in the middle. Over 5 years, she lost over $70,000. Her location theory didn't help her at all. The truth: pick a machine you enjoy playing, the theme you like, the denomination you're comfortable with, the volatility that matches your budget. Location on the casino floor makes zero difference to your odds. Myth number 9. You can feel when a machine is ready. Myth number 9 is the most superstitious, and former employees say it's heartbreaking to watch. Players who believe they can feel when a machine is about to pay out. They talk about intuition, vibes, energy. Former floor supervisor Maria watched players follow their gut feelings straight into financial ruin. I had a regular who'd walk the casino floor with her hand hovering over machines, claiming she could feel which ones were hot. She'd spent an hour just feeling the energy of machines before deciding where to play. This player, named Diane, genuinely believed she had some kind of sixth sense for slot machines. She'd tell other players about her gift. Over 3 years, Diane lost $97,000 following her intuition. Her gut feeling was wrong almost every time. Former programmer Rachel explains why this is pure psychology. Humans are pattern-seeking creatures. Our brains want to find order in chaos. When you sit at a machine and happen to win after feeling it was ready, your brain reinforces that connection. But it's confirmation bias. You forget the 20 times your gut was wrong and only remember the one time you got lucky. Some players have elaborate rituals based on this myth. They'll rub the screen, whisper to the machine, or sit in a specific posture because they believe it helps them connect with the machine. These rituals and superstitions have zero effect on the RNG. The outcome is determined by random numbers, not by human feelings, energy, or intuition. A man named Robert had a ritual where he'd tap the screen 3 times before each spin, claiming it helped him align with the machine's energy. He did this for 4 years, lost over $55,000. His tapping ritual didn't change anything except maybe annoying other players near him. Former casino manager Derek put it simply, if people could actually feel when machines were about to pay out, every casino would be bankrupt. But casinos make billions. That should tell you something about the reliability of gut feelings. Myth number 10. Temperature of coins affects outcomes. Myth number 10 is so bizarre that former employees almost laugh when they hear it, but enough players believe it that it's worth destroying. The idea that warming up coins or cooling them down before feeding them into a machine affects your odds. Yes, people actually do this. Former technician James has seen players rub coins between their hands to warm them up before inserting them. He's seen players bring coins that have been chilled in ice. Both groups believed temperature somehow influenced the machine. Coin temperature has absolutely zero effect on the RNG or payout rate. Most modern machines don't even accept coins anymore. They use bills and vouchers, James explains. And even on coin machines, the temperature of the metal doesn't communicate with the computer chip determining outcomes. There's no sensor reading coin temperature. It's physically impossible for this to matter. This myth probably started decades ago and somehow survived into the digital age, even though it never made sense. A slot machine's RNG is generating random outcomes based on complex algorithms. Coin temperature has nothing to do with any part of that process. The fact that people still try this shows how desperate players become to find some edge, some trick, some secret that will help them beat machines that are fundamentally unbeatable. The search for control over randomness leads to these bizarre superstitions. The truth, what actually matters. So we've destroyed 10 massive myths. Now let's talk about what actually matters when playing slots. What former employees say you should actually pay attention to. First, understand RTP. Return to player percentage. This is real, measurable, and important. Slots with higher RTP, typically 95% to 97% or higher, give you better long-term value. This doesn't mean you'll win, but you'll lose slower. Former programmer David explains, if you're going to play slots, find games with RTP over 96%. That information is usually available online for specific games. It won't help you win, but it means the house edge is smaller. Second, understand volatility. Low volatility machines pay smaller wins more frequently. High volatility machines pay bigger wins more rarely. Match volatility to your goals. Want longer playtime with smaller wins? Choose low volatility. Chasing big thrills? Choose high volatility. Former slot host Patricia put it simply, if you have $200 and want to play for a few hours, choose low volatility. Your money will last longer. If you're hunting a big jackpot and okay with losing fast, high volatility is your game. Just know what you're getting into. Third, set a strict budget and stick to it. Former casino manager Maria says this is the only real strategy that works. Decide what you can afford to lose before you walk in. When that money is gone, you leave. No ATM, no credit cards. Done. Fourth, take advantage of casino promotions and bonuses. Former player development manager Michelle explains, free play offers, match bonuses, cashback promotions, these actually add value. They're not going to make you a winner, but they're real money or real comps. Use them. And finally, the most important truth from every former employee we spoke with. The house always wins. Always. Slots are designed to make casinos money. The math is locked in. Over enough spins, the casino will always profit. Former programmer Sarah put it bluntly, every slot machine is programmed to take more money than it pays out. That's not a secret. That's the business model. If you walk into a casino thinking you'll beat the slots long-term, you've already lost. Play for entertainment if you want, but know that you're paying for that entertainment with expected losses. The only way to truly beat a slot machine is to not play at all. Every spin you make moves money from your pocket to the casino's bank. The odds are never in your favor. The house edge is always working against you, and all those myths, they're just making it worse by giving you false hope and keeping you playing longer. Conclusion. So there you have it, 10 massive myths about spotting machines about to pay out, completely destroyed by the people who built, maintained, and profited from these machines. Hot and cold machines don't exist. Machines aren't due to hit. Time of day doesn't matter. Players' club cards don't make you lose. Casino employees don't have inside information. Pulling the handle isn't better than pressing the button. Max betting doesn't improve your odds. Machine location doesn't affect payouts. You can't feel when a machine is ready, and coin temperature is complete nonsense. Every single one of these myths is false. Provably, mathematically, undeniably false. And casinos love that these myths exist because they keep you playing. They keep you moving around the floor. They keep you max betting. They keep you hunting for some edge that doesn't exist. The truth is simple, but brutal. Modern slot machines use random number generators that make every spin completely independent and unpredictable. No pattern, no cycle, no memory, no strategy, just pure randomness programmed to favor the house. Former employees broke their silence about these myths because they watched too many people lose everything chasing lies. They watched players develop elaborate systems based on false information. They watched people go bankrupt believing they'd figured out some secret that didn't exist. If you're going to play slots, go in with your eyes open. Know the RTP, understand volatility, set a budget you can afford to lose. Use players' club cards, take advantage of promotions, and accept that you're paying for entertainment, not investing in a winning strategy. Because there is no winning strategy. The house always wins. The math guarantees it. And every myth you believe just makes the house win faster. If this video saved you from wasting money on slot machine myths, hit that subscribe button right now. Share this with anyone who plays slots. They need to hear the truth. Drop a comment telling me which myth shocked you the most. And if you've ever lost money believing one of these myths, share your story. It might save someone else. The casino spent millions perfecting these machines to take your money. The least we can do is spread the truth for free.